Hey everyone, this is Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards, coming to you tonight with episode number 6, Negro League players who played in the major leagues. And tonight we will be featuring Ray Noble. As you can see in the earlier part of the video, there were 3 cards that Ray had. I typically only show Bowman and Topps, but in this case, Ray only had 3 cards that I am aware of. That being the 1950 Remar Bread, the 1951 Bowman, which you see here, and the 1952 Burke Ross. So Raphael Miguel Noble McGee was born on March 15, 1919. During his career, Noble's year of birth was also shown as 1922, for he was one of many players over the years to change it for professional purposes. And Ray was a Cuban catcher in the Negro and Major League Baseball, who played professionally in the United States and in his native country of Cuba between 1945 and 1961. Noble became the second black catcher in modern Major League history after Roy Campanella, although it is worth noting that Moses Fleet Walker played catcher for the Toledo Blue Stockings in 1884. As a young man, Ray Noble worked as a stevedore in central Santa Ana, Cuba. Burly to begin with, Noble gained even greater strength from this hard manual labor. Noble's baseball career began with the Santa Ana team in the late 1930s, and he played from then until the early 1940s. He also played teams affiliated with the Cuban mining companies, and this was in what was called sugar mill competition. The Centrales were generally the only organization in rural Cuba that could afford to equip teams. Nonetheless, the level of play was quite high. Cuban mining squad based in Cristo, Oriente province, was the most famous of these teams. Then from 1942 through 44, Noble was with the Contra Mastre Refleros, another highly regarded sugar mill club in Oriente. In the winter of 1942 through 43, Noble, who impressed local scouts, got his first experience in the Cuban Winter League. He was 0-3 in 3 games for the Havana Rojos, or Reds. He did not play the following 3 winters in Cuba, even though the league was still functional, despite it being the middle of World War II. Noble played at least 2 winters in Panama during the 1945 and 46 season, where he won the batting title with a 300 mark. So Noble was still toting sacks of sugar on the side, and he later recalled that he was earning $6 a day, or 6 Cuban pesos, then equal in value to $1. It wasn't bad money for the time and place, he said. In 1945, however, Alex Pompez, owner of the New York Cubans in the Negro National League, approached him with an offer to come to the United States. Noble said that he found it was easier work, so he stayed up north. In the winter of 46 and 47, Noble returned to the Cuban Winter League, joining the Cienfuegos Elefantes and staying with the team for 14 seasons. The prime of his career there overlapped his time in the major leagues. Noble's manager at the time, Martin Diego, the great Hall of Famer, was concerned that Noble was a liability behind the plate. Early in his career, there were questions about Noble's defensibility, but as the years progressed, he improved and became a solid receiver with a strong arm. He was a rock blocking the plate. Noble also hit some of the longest homers at Havana's Grand Stadium, which was not conducive to the long ball. He could clear the warehouse behind the left field fence there. In the summer of 1947, New York defeated the Cleveland Buckeyes, champions of the Negro American League, or West, in the Negro League World Series. Noble was one of the batting stars of the 5-game victory. In Game 3 at Shea Park in Philadelphia, he hit a towering grand slam that struck the top of the left field roof. The Cubans won 9-4. In the clinching Game 5 at Chicago's Comiskey Park, his 2-run double put New York ahead to stay 6-5. So in 1947, it was said that Pompez, the owner of the New York Cubans, was strapped for cash, and he entered into a working agreement with the New York Giants. The Cubans became an informal Giants farm team, and the first transaction between the 2 clubs came in June of 1949. Pompez sold Noble, player-manager Ray Dandridge, and pitcher Dave Impo Barnhill to the Giants for $21,000. It was the beginning of the end of the Cubans. The franchise went defunct after the 1950 season. So his manager at the time with the Giants, Leo DeRocher, was quoted as saying, "I liked what I saw." A few days later, he told reporters, "That's him. Look at him. He looks like a black lion. Look at those shoulders. That's power, boys." They tell me he can do everything. He's like a cat behind the plate. He can throw, he can hit, he can run. After spending all or part of 4 seasons with the New York Cubans in the Negro League and 2 years at the AAA level of minor league baseball, Nobley was 32 years old when he broke into the major leagues on April 18, 1951 with the New York Giants. Nobley was the Giants' second-string catcher that season, starting 26 games behind the plate. Workhorse Wes Westrom started 119 games that year. Nobley was in the Giants lineup as their catcher during the 9th inning of Game 3 in the 1951 National Tiebreaker Series when Bobby Thompson hit his famous home run. Nobley handled no chances defensively in 1 inning of work and did not get a chance to bat. In the 1951 World Series that followed, he appeared in 2 games as a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement and was hitless in 2 at-bats in the field. He caught 3 total innings of relief of Westrom and earned an assist when he threw out Gil McDougall of the New York Yankees for a caught stealing in the 8th inning of Game 6. He batted .234 with 33 hits, 5 home runs, and 26 runs batted in. All were career highs. During the 51 season, Nobley appeared in 41 games behind the plate, and his first round tripper came off a Warren Spahn of the Braves on April 26. It was Nobley's first start and his first time playing in the majors at the Polo Grounds, which is also the home field of the New York Cubans. 1 month later and a day later, Spahn gave up a much better remembered first home run, number 1 of 660 for Willie Mays. So Raphael Nobley was a stocky, powerful catcher. Look at my guy, Ray Nobley, said his manager of the New York Giants, Leo DeRocher, in 1952. If I didn't have Wes Westrom, he'd be my number 1 man. He's a good catcher, and he's a lot of power. He'd be even better if he played every day. He can do it. He's a bull back there. He could catch 154 games. It didn't work out that way for Nobley, who just played in 6 games for the Giants in 1952 and 46 more in 53. And that was the end of his big league action. His only full season in the majors came in 1951. Nobley was a solid all-around catcher, the best that Cuba has ever produced, according to some observers. Ray, who like many Latinos in the area, got an Americanized nickname in the U.S., also played under the shadow of ongoing racism, yet he continued in AAA as late as 1961. His career in the Cuban Professional Winter League also lasted through the circuit's final season, 1961. Over 16 seasons at home, Nobley hit 71 homers, making him the league's all-time leader. Ray Nobley died in Cabrini Medical Center in Manhattan on May 9, 1998. The cause was complications from his diabetes. He was survived by his second wife and a son named Ernesto, as well as Norma, their son Raphael, and Daisy, who was not mentioned in the obituaries. Nobley was buried in Brooklyn's Cypress Hill Cemetery, which is also the resting place of Jackie Robinson. As always, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching my video. Talk to you soon.